My name's Sarah Gould. I'm the Service Manager for Heritage and Local Studies for the London Borough of Merton. We have, with Merton Library Service, a very extensive photographic collection of over 15,000 images, and they date from about 1869 to the present day. And we've used those for exhibitions and school resources before, and things like presents for members of the public that have requested them. But there was relatively limited access overall, so we wanted to make the material much more widely available, increase people's awareness of it, and be able to use it as a heritage resource, both in Merton and farther afield. So we applied to the Heritage Lottery Fund for that, and we were very fortunate in being successful with a bid for the Your Heritage Project grants, which we've actually used to fund digitisation of the collection and various associated resource production. Digitisation is an increasing sort of, well, not exactly a buzzword, but it's because it's obviously been around for a while, but I think it's being taken on much more by repositories such as ours and museums of smaller scale, as well as the sort of national institutions. And we were getting increasing requests from members of the public and from heritage stakeholders, schools and so forth, for material in digital format. Really, because you could offer the full package that we wanted, it was like a sort of one-stop shop. So with other organisations, they could maybe do the digitisation, but they couldn't do necessarily the website, or they couldn't offer training, which we needed for our voluntary staff, because the project has a lot of volunteers. You just seem to be able to fulfil a lot of the requirements that we had of the project. It just helped to be able to get everything from one organisation instead of having to get bits from one, bits from another, which would be more costly. There's over 15,000 images. They range from tiny box brownie snapshots through to glass plates, through to giant size aerial photographs, and they date from about 1869 through to the present day. So we're still collecting, and we're hoping as part of this project we'll actually gain more material to fill some of the gaps. We've also got a range of material of some of our sort of famous associations. So for example, the All England Lawn Tennis Club will be one of those, the River Wandle would be another. Covers quite a wide range of different subject matter. The end product is very good, and we've had very positive feedback, particularly from heritage stakeholders, which we were a little bit nervous about, because as you can imagine, they're sort of keen to promote their heritage appropriately. Actually, there was unanimous praise, so we were very relieved. Well, that people will be much more aware of the heritage of Merton, not just Merton residents themselves, because a lot of those aren't necessarily aware of various aspects of their heritage, but people farther afield. It should make material much more accessible for a far wider range of people. We're also hoping that it will sort of encourage people to interact with local heritage much more frequently. I know that's one of the things that the Heritage Lottery Fund are always very keen on for projects, to try and get people that don't normally engage with local heritage to do so. Photos is a really nice way of doing that, because it doesn't matter what your age, background, your language, pretty much everybody likes looking at photos or pictures, and they can relate to those. It's been really useful to actually be able to go into, say, something like, choose by area, and be able to look through a set of photographs from a particular collection, or to identify things by copyright holder or particular formats and things, because it makes it much quicker than sort of wading through filing cabinets by hand. So that I do find very helpful. It's been very sort of helpful from my point of view, after years of wading through hard copy images one by one in filing cabinets, to actually have things in a digital format. It's made it much more accessible for the staff, so it will definitely make it much more accessible for the public. Obviously they're a very high quality resolution, both the ones that you've digitised and the ones that we've digitised, following on from the training and the equipment recommendations that you've given to us. It's definitely a worthwhile project to have undertaken.